Well, welcome back to the Hotel Orloff here in scenic rural Retreat, Virginia. Well, 48 hours later, we didn't have a white Christmas, but now December 27th, 2023, the snow has arrived, just a little bit late. So, let's check in to see if we got any mail. We did not yet, but it's a little early in the morning. Well, it's 31 degrees out here. These iPhones shut off when it's below freezing, so I shouldn't probably stay out here too long. Snowed pretty much all night. Look how the snow clings to this little tiny branch. Boy, snow just went down my shirt. Oh, man. Well, but you didn't come here to see snow, ladies and gentlemen. You came here to see the Hotel Orloff program, the Tomb of Terror, the Gratu Orloff Show, brought to you by Dr. Pepper, local Virginia bottlers of Dr. Pepper bring you once again the December 27th, 2023 episode of the Gratu Orloff Show. So it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's see what we can do here. It is 8:25 in the morning. let's head on upstairs. Oh, man. Got my trusty bottle of water. I've been drinking too much soda pop, man. I'd kicked soda pop for like months, and then it came back, and I started drinking a Coke or a Dr. Pepper every day, and that is not good, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday I went through my eerie magazines, and I can't seem to find where the box is of my creepy magazines. I can't see anything, man. Light. Okay. Okay. Let's sit you guys down here. Oh boy. Gotta plug the phone in to make sure it doesn't run out of power in the middle of the show. Okay. Get some light. Where are those creepy magazines, man? Okay. I've got some books I need to put into these boxes. There they are. I gotta get this stuff in better order. The problem is when you put a bunch of stuff on top of these boxes, then in order to get to the boxes, you have to take it all down. What are all these bugs, man? Oh, I see. Yeah. I've noticed that Alan the cat likes to sit on my comic book room chair. It's the second time I've come up here and he's been sitting on this chair. Okay, I'm going through these boxes to see if there's any books that need to be bagged or boarded. So. Yeah, right. What is in this box? Oh. Challengers of the Unknown. This is number 42. Okay. Oh. I keep itching right in this spot. And then on yesterday's episode, whenever I bent down, I could see there's like a little bald spot there. Something. So everything's going wrong with me. Okay, I've got a few Silver Age books that I need to put into these boxes, so that's part of my mission for the for Christmas. Okay, so I have this facsimile Doom Patrol. I think Doom Patrol is in this box. Yes, it is. Let's see if anything else is not boarded. Okay, Detective is all bagged and boarded. Gosh. Okay, this is a facsimile of Doom Patrol number 99. That's 98. Okay, here's my original copy of that book, and here's the facsimile. So this is more purplish in the background. Interesting. Look, there's a lot more at the bottom. See the artwork there? The insect is right about here. That's interesting how they finished out the artwork there. Huh. Oh well. Strange. Well, there's a 4-color fossils show this evening, and I don't know. I got to figure out something to show on that show. So let me see if I can't find a good box where I can pull things out of tonight. I don't like pulling things out of boxes and then let me make sure. Trying to put them back because it might be years before I put anything back into their boxes, and then that's how books get lost. Okay, let me find my Iron Man, Silver Age Iron Man. Of course, where would that be? Gold key. Oh, this is getting to be a real hassle, man. Okay. Iron Man F. Flash to inferior 5. So the next box would have Iron Man. This is just getting ridiculous. Damn. Man, I don't know what to tell you. Let's go look for something else, man. I can't find anything. I gotta do I've gotta start looking without the camera on, and then maybe I'll find stuff. Where are the creepy magazines, man? Make sure you have a bowl of Kaboom every morning. That's 45% of 7 essential vitamins and iron. They sure had lame prizes in the box by the 80s and whenever that came out. All right. There's an issue of Starlog that needs to be put into a Starlog box. Okay. Creepy has to be. Oh, look at these extra boxes I just found. Oh, that's great. I see there's some boxes here. There's some catalogs downstairs. I wanted to put them somewhere. I can put them into those boxes. I didn't know I had those extra boxes. Oh. Wow. That's fantastic. That may be what I do on the next episode. We can look at some old Sears and Montgomery Ward catalogs. I'm going to look at these Vampirellas because I'm trying to refresh my memory what issues of Vampirella I'm needing. So this is, might as well do that. And eventually I'll dig through these boxes. This is where all the Silver Age comics are. And somewhere in there is a box that's going to have Hulk and Iron Man. Man. I got to move these Charlton boxes and these Gold Key boxes and put them over there. And then keep these in alphabetical order. And I'm going to put numbers on the boxes too. That's what I got to do, is number the boxes. That's, I'll do that in the next episode, which might be later this afternoon. I don't know. Okay, Vampirella. What in the name of? Well, this was a Vampirella imitator called Devilina that came from Atlas Seaboard. Dang. These are the first thing I see in the box. This is actually the first issue of Devilina. Okay. Let's see what we got here. There's Vampirella number 1. Not in the best condition. In fact, it's in pretty bad shape. Frank Frazetta cover. The Vampirella costume was designed by Trina Robbins, and then Frank Frazetta realized, the illustration she did with that famous cover. Vampirella number 1. There's Vampirella number 2. They just did a homage to this cover on Vampirus Carmilla, and it looked really quite a lot like this cover. So that's number 2. I could certainly use an upgrading of this one, man. Yeesh. Vampirella 3. You see the spine is completely horrible. Wow. I don't even know why I would have bought a copy in this condition. I don't know how that happened. Oh, I got a Christmas present yesterday from Gotham City Comics. Kevin Johnson, the owner and proprietor of Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona, sent me a cloth reproduction of this Jack Davis Frankenstein pinup. So I hung that up. You can see it in the last episode. Okay, so far that was number 3. We've got all of them so far. Although, if I could ever afford it, 3 could definitely be upgraded. Although I have another copy of 3 in a bound set in the other room. This is issue 4. It was 50 cents back in the old days. Yeesh. Yeah. Number 5. This cover, I believe, was recently reused by the people at Warrant, either for Shudder or Vampire. I don't think they would have put it on Vampirus Carmilla. It was probably on Shudder, because that would be too obvious if they put a Vampirella cover on a Vampirella imitation tribute comic. Okay, so that was a Frazetta cover, obviously. Here's a Ken Kelly cover, number 6. Seven. 8. This is when the Vampirella stories actually started in the comic, as I recall. Before then, she'd just been kind of a horror host. But they give her her own storyline in the comic. 9. It's the wonderful Wally Wood art around the edges there. Number 9. Number 10. I seem to remember seeing this one on the newsstands, but I could be wrong. March of 71, that's very possible. I would have been 6. I would have seen it in the PX. Yeah. May of 71, number 11. July of 71, number 12. 13. 14. So all of these would have been coming out while we were living in Germany. We moved in, I was born in San Antonio, and then my dad got orders for Germany, and oh no. It said this accessory may not be supported. I think my charging cable is not really charging the phone. Something's off. So anyway, in 1969, when I was 4, he got orders for Germany, and we lived in Landstuhl, and then we lived in Heidelberg. And on these U.S. Army bases, my dad was, I think, kind of running the hospital. And these Army bases are actually, I didn't realize that till later, they're actually old German bases that were used in World War II. And the Germans are, very technological. So the building we were living in, the base housing we were living in, which was like a big multi-story apartment building, that was where the German, I guess, officers might have lived back in World War II. But it seemed completely new to us, to me. It didn't seem like I was living in an old-timey building. Because and I guess a lot of the buildings on the base were the original German buildings. I don't know, but anyway, we lived in Heidelberg until the summer of '72 when we moved to Hampton, Virginia, and then the next summer of '73, we moved back to San Antonio. And my father had a house built, and we only lived there for 2 years, but those were the 2 years that really changed my life. 3rd and 4th grade, 73 through 75. Then summer of 75, we moved to Tacoma, Washington. And then after a year there, my father retired from the Army. He retired in Arlington, Texas, because he knew that city from my brother going to college there. So, Arlington, Texas, I lived there for most of my life until we moved about a year and a half. Coming up on 2 years in April, we moved here. It's still very surreal because it's just surreal. When you live in a place a long time and move, it's weird. I was watching these old Christmas episodes of the Orloff show that I was live streaming on Christmas Day, and it's weird to see where I used to live, the house that I lived in for many years, and hear the creaking of the doors, and when you open the door, the little ding, 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 and all the stuff that you're so used to, and now it's gone, This is number 15. January 72. I haven't been paying attention. Have I missed any? I think I haven't missed any issues here. Ooh boy, I'm missing 16, but I have 16 in the other room. This is 17. Do I have my pen in my pocket? No. Okay, I'll write it down later. Okay, so that was 17. I'm missing 18. Here's 19. This is the very iconic cover. I could show these on Graphic Man tonight, but I don't know if it's appropriate to be showing these. Here's 20 from October of '72. Okay, so this is the beginning of my 2nd grade year. So I was definitely seeing these ones on the newsstand when we lived in Virginia. Okay, that's 19. I'm missing. Okay, that's 20. Here's another copy of 20 that looks like it was marked $24 at Duncanville Books. Had a red sticker. I think that means it was half price. So I think I bought this because I wasn't sure if I had it. And I did have it. But I think this one's a little bit better quality. Actually, I now have 3 copies because I've got those ones in the other room. Here's Vampirella 21. Okay. Here's the 1972 annual. Normally I put the annuals at the end, but I think I put this one in here because it's where it would have come out in between issue 21 and 22. Maybe I did that research. I don't know. This one I definitely remember seeing on the newsstand 100%. My mom didn't let me buy it in Hampton, Virginia. It's number 22. It's just such a great cover with the vampire fight. I mean, they're trying to kill the vampires, but they're trying to kill each other. It reminds me of one of those marital disputes, and the cops have to show up because they've got a call that there's people fighting in the house. You remember Cops on the Fox Network. Okay, so that's 22. Ooh, I'm missing 23 and 24. Here's 25. The reason I'm doing this, Charlton 66, the comic store he works at a few days a week, just bought a whole bunch of creepy, eerie, and vampirellas, and not that I have the money to buy any, but I'm trying to see which ones do I not have, because maybe they got some of the ones I don't have. This one, that was 25, 26. I'm looking at this. They kind of cheaped out on the cover. They just took panels from the inside and colored them. This must be my childhood copy. And it's like, why do I have a copy of a book like this from my childhood? My mom, whenever I saw a monster magazine, which was every time I went in this local bookstore, which was once or twice a week with my mom in Hampton, Virginia, I would bring books up to her and have to get her approval to buy them because I was in second grade, and she didn't really like me buying monster magazines. I think she said, not until you're 10. I think it was something like that. She didn't really want me buying them until I was 10. But she'd look at them and she'd flip through them and she'd usually say, no, absolutely not. But this one, for some reason, she let me buy it. And it's, I don't know. Maybe she was not wearing her glasses that day, and when she flipped through this, but I remember just my favorite part were the ads at the back of the book. 26. Missing 27. Here's 28. Here's 29. I have 30. Says Luana is coming your way. And here she is in the next issue. Was that 30? Yeah, here's 31. Rosetta cover. Oh, and they're promoting the Spirit coming. So at this point, we're up to March of 74. That's the end of my third grade year. Yeah, and I found the Spirit magazine on the newsstand at Lone Star Drive-In in San Antonio, Texas, and that blew my mind. At first, I didn't know it was old stories from, decades ago. I just thought it was a new comic, and it was unbelievable seeing Will Eisner's art. 32. So I guess I was first exposed to Will Eisner in third grade. See, I would have thought that was fourth grade, but I guess it was a little earlier. Here's 32. $33. I mean, I've got a lot. I've got a pretty good run of these. I just am missing certain issues. 34. So this was the lineup at that point. They had Vampirella, Creepy, Eerie, and the Spirit, and then of course Famous Monsters of Filmland, which was the flagship title of the Warren Publishing empire. Here's 35. I bought most of these in the 1980s I went to different comic stores and found them. I didn't get these through mail order. I went by searching stores, and back then they were not that valuable. And then at some point, Vampirella was brought back. I mean, it's currently being published, but it's a ridiculous shadow of what it once was. This is weird. I don't know if that was done by someone at the newsstand. It says 814. I think this might have been done by the collector that bought it. 814. Well, okay, no, I think it was probably done by a newsstand. Normally they didn't write it with ballpoint pen, but yeah, if this came on the stand in August, in the middle of August, then that's right to have an October date on it, because comics were always dated 2 months after they came out, so they would have 2 months to sell on the newsstand. Here's 38. And they're advertising the first Famous Monsters convention on the back. If you're wondering why these don't have boards, back when I boarded these in the 80s, I got these My Lights, and back then they didn't really have boards. I remember I used to go to Lone Star Comics, and at a certain point, whenever I'd buy a comic, they said, "Do you want a board with that?" It's like, I'd go, "No." I didn't even know. It was when boards were first becoming a thing, and you buy a new comic, they ask if you want a board to put with it. It's like, maybe I thought they were going to charge me extra. I think they probably would have. It's a nice painting that never made the front cover. It was probably designed to be a front cover painting, and they didn't think it. I don't know. Who knows? I'm just making stuff up now. 41. Oh, here's one that is not bagged and boarded, but I can't do anything about it because I don't have any magazine boards. This is another publication that came out called Comics International. This is all in all Richard Corbin issue. Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, these ads in the back for Aurora model kits and monster masks. You can even get masks of Uncle Creepy and Cousin Eerie. Then the 1970s reissues of the Aurora monster kits. All these great paperbacks you could get. I mean, this was all the this is when Young Frankenstein came out. That was a big deal to make, Young Frankenstein. You can get a little thing to put your Vampirella magazines in. Monster movies and Super 8. It was just these ads in the back were the greatest. The 1974 Warren Awards, they gave it to Jose Gonzalez and Julian. There's Bernie Wrightson, Jose Ortiz, Ken Kelly. There's Ken Kelly. Ken Kelly did if I'm not mistaken, he did the Kiss Destroyer album cover art, didn't he? There's the Vampirella model kit that they came out with from Aurora. Oh man, you could get this book. This is a hard to find book now. The Horror Comics in the 1950s reprinting the EC books. It was $19.95 then. And all these nostalgia books with reprints of Flash Gordon, Dick Tracy. Vampirella pretty much is a magazine of the 1970s, so it had a lot of art by Spanish artists. And this is the whole run of Vampirella that you could order. Issue number 1 at that point, they were selling for $4. Oh, man. In the 70s, they had a lot of Spanish artists. Creepy and Eerie started in the mid-60s, and in the mid-60s, the art was pretty much done by American artists. A lot of them were EC Comics veterans, but by the different editors came along in the 70s, and they were using a lot of European artists and later Filipino artists. 45. 46. That's a really nice cover. This is this whole issue is all Vampirella stories. Normally it says 4 full length. They're reprinted. Normally Vampirella wasn't wall to wall Vampirella stories. They even have some color ones in here. Where's that extra? Yeah, normally there was one Vampirella story and then some other assorted stories. These are wonderful to read. The new Vampirella comic that comes out today is, she's got elf ears and like pointy ears. It's really weird. 47. Look at this great ad for the Famous Monsters Convention. 48. Oh, and then the ads that appeared on the back. The movie you've been waiting for, Vampirella, a major motion picture, now in production from Hammer Films, coming your way in 1976. That never happened. Yeah, that never happened. That's a shame. It's one of those things. Instead, in 1976, we got the remake of King Kong. That was such a disappointment. The great thing about 1976 was Logan's Run. That was a fun movie. 50. 51. Let me get the... here, you can come with me. I'm going to go get the bound set of Vampirella from the other room. Or maybe I'll just sit in the other room and look at it. I won't. I think they... whoever bound the first 20 issues of Vampirella... they might have trimmed the edges. I don't know. I think that's what they normally do when they bind books. I bought it from a friend of mine years ago. These 2 volumes. So it seems like I was missing 2 issues from between 1 and 20, but I have them here in this set. You see right there. So let me find a place to put the camera. Well, I promised I'd do an episode a day while I was on break. I guess I'll try to do that. Yesterday we had more of the ham, and my wife made mashed potatoes, and it was a wonderful meal we had last night. And Kevin, my wife, loved the present that you sent, the 3 tapestries. Okay. So yeah, oh, I said so, yeah. I hate that. I'm sorry. This is Vampirella, September 1969 to March 1971, issues 1 through 10. So it's like you're opening up a library book. Oh, this camera's gonna fall 100%. I gotta be careful. We must be cautious. Okay. Yeah, it's trimmed. You can tell it's been trimmed at the top there. But it's a much better condition copy of Vampirella #1 than I had in the other room. Okay. Let me just do this. I'll show you how it looks. So some people, I guess this is really, some collectors frown on doing this with your books. But if you're never planning to sell the books and you just want your comics to look dignified on a shelf instead of having those ugly comic boxes like I had in the other room, I guess, it's not a big deal. I think it does. I don't know. You tell me how much it diminishes the value. I don't know. So here's Vampirella number 4. There's the, I don't know, it doesn't really seem that obnoxious. It's a lot easier to read. This plant actually eats insects and bits of meat, just like we do. That's what Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum, he wants us to eat insects and bits of meat, so... Wonderful. Oh, that's great. Frank Bruner art. He was the greatest. Nobody talks about Frank Bruner anymore. Why is that? He was so great. Oh, these records. The Wally Wood did these the artwork for these records, and then that was the Superman record that came out in the 60s, and it's the King Kong one. There's the Flash Gordon one that actually has Buster Crabbe doing the voice of Flash Gordon. Oh, this is the Miss Vampire contest. Jonathan Frid is crowning Miss American Vampire. Look at this dog. Can you see what I'm... I don't know what you can see, man. Because I can't see what I'm pointing at. Oh, yeah, look at this dog saying, dig that crazy whistle. Okay. So this is, that's a bound set of... Ow! My back! It's a bound set of the famous comic Ow, My Back. Here's the next one. May 1971 through October 1972, 1 through 20. So that issue was at number 3 with the white cover with the, looked like it was a Von Baudet cover, that my spine of my comic was destroyed. I guess I've got a good copy in that bound set, so would I want to spend $100 or who knows, it's probably more than that. I have no idea what these old books are ow, worth. That's my back, the base of my spine. It's lots of fun, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, lots of fun. Okay, here's that Frazetta cover. This one, they don't. It looks like it. If it's trimmed very well. These were well done. Oh my goodness, he's been cleaved in half. Look at that, man. It's like right out. I don't know if you can even see that. I don't know what you can see. Anyway, hopefully you see that. Who is this artist? This is just fantastic. Who is this artist? Why, it's Sam Glanzman. Okay, tell me what you know about Sam Glanzman. I gotta research Sam Glanzman. That was in this issue. That's the problem, is it's really hard to see down there what issue number it is, but that's, I guess, the main problem is reading. Okay. This must be issue 17. Sam Glanzman. I'm going to research him later. See, this is, who's this author? Kali, Tomb of the Gods. Anyway, what did we get to in the other room? Were we at issue 54 or something like that? Oh, that's cool. How Superman's head appears. That's pretty neat. Next to it, I've got this Vampirella special. This came out in the 70s, and it reprints that's the Superman head that you were just saying. It reprints the Vampirella stories in color, or some of the Vampirella stories in color. So, that's another vintage collectible you're going to have to get if you're trying to get all the real Vampirellas. The ones put out today are not real Vampirellas, let's face it. But all this stuff has been reprinted a lot of times, at least the Vampirella stories. This was the Essential Warren Years, Volume 1 from Dynamite. But it doesn't quite look the same. Well, I guess I don't think they're shooting it from the original art. So I think the reproduction in the original magazines is a little better. It's also a little bit smaller format, but it's also a lot cheaper than buying the original Vampirella books. I am almost certain of that. Yeah, how about that? And what is this? I got a bunch of these Vampirella books. This has got a Jim Silky cover. And it also reprints Warren stuff. Yeah, there's all different kinds of ways to get these stories. They've been reprinted a bunch of times, and you probably get reprints now on Amazon or something like that. What else is worth seeing while you're in here? Oh, you ever seen this? Charlton did a Tarzan comic in the 60s, but they didn't have permission, so they had to stop. But most Tarzan fans acknowledged that this was a very well done book, and it's a while back. I bought this at least 10 years ago. Somebody reprinted the Charlton Tarzan books. Tarzan. Potato. Half the time I say Tarzan, and sometimes I say Tarzan. Just the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say the, and I'll say the. And being from Texas, today is Wednesday, or I would say Wednesday, but some people say Wednesday, D? You mean day, right? Well, I don't know. We'd say Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Oh, this is reprints of The Fighting American. Yes. Now they make these reproductions of old comics by shooting right from the original comic books, but there was a time when they like, well, how do we reproduce these if we don't have the original artwork? And there was a guy, Greg Theakston, and I believe he was behind this book. What he would do is he'd get vintage Golden Age comics, and he'd put them in chemicals and bleach all the color out. It would have to destroy the comic, but then he had a black and white he had a black and white version of the art, and then they could be recolored. And I think that's how this was done. This is Simon and Kirby, Cold War era attempt to recreate the magic that was their creation of Captain America. But they didn't own Captain America. They created it for Timely, Atlas, Marvel, whatever you want to call it. And so they thought, well, we can just redo Captain America. We'll have the Fighting American with his little buddy. But it just didn't work. Okay, how about that, ladies and gentlemen? Rockets, jets, guided missiles, and spaceships. This, Elon Musk, is what you need to make them look like. Well, I hear Elon Musk, if this is even true, I read that there was that one of the robots went crazy and attacked one of the scientists and left a whole trail of blood. They had to shut him down. It's like, wow, we're living through the plot of Terminator. Yeah, my back is hurting, ladies and gentlemen. It's hurting for certain. There's a Spider-Man Viewmaster reel. Isn't that exciting? I don't know what you're interested in seeing. I don't know. I'm going to show some DVDs and records. I'll get to that. But I got sidetracked wanting to look at... Let me double check in this closet over here and make sure Creepy isn't in this closet. Oh, I need more bookshelves. Bad. I can barely get around. Okay, Mad Magazine, The Monster Times. Okay. I looked in that closet yesterday. I guess I thought that Creepy would magically appear today in there. Oh my gosh. I got a much bigger house, but because I don't have the book shelving, it's become a disaster. So I have to look on Facebook Marketplace and for people selling bookcases, but then there's the transportation issue of how do I get the bookcase to my house. Okay. And we should go out and look at the snow again. Look at this, the littlest angel. Man, I apparently paid $3 for it. Fly it proudly. I'm going to remove this because I don't know if is there acid in a post-it note? I don't know. It might discolor the page, so I'm going to remove this post-it note. I like the fly it proudly a bit. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Oh, look at this. This is great. Karen Christmas 1962. I remember seeing this book when I was a little kid, and I remember the artwork being... I just remember the artwork being very striking, and it was first whispered among the seraphim and cherubim, and then said aloud the angels and archangels that he didn't even look like an angel. Oh, it's a he. That's what creeped me out about this book. I remember now. It's a he, but when I was a kid, I thought that was a girl because he's got long hair. Something about the legs, I don't know. So I guess that's what creeped me out about this book is that a boy or a girl, man? See, I can't. Yeah, that's what creeped me out. I remember now. I'm channeling my inner 4 or 5-year-old, but the artwork's beautiful. But see, the grown angels, I don't think they have little baby angels. I don't know how the whole angel thing works. I know that the there's different types of angels. The seraphim, if I'm not mistaken, have 6 wings. Am I correct in that? I don't know. Looks like I got these all at the same dealer, and it looks like they all came from the same original collection. Karen Helgren, December 1962. So, yeah, this was also $3. Although it, yeah, this was I miss antique malls. Maybe there's some antique malls in some towns around here that I think I saw a couple in Winterset, which is Winterset, Virginia, where John Wayne was born. I got to go back there and see the John Wayne Museum. This is Yogi Bear Helps Santa, and it's again from that same place. It was $5, but this one's on sale for $3. So this is from a different collection. This belonged to Eric. See his name there? I've always said I like when the original kid signs the book, or if it has an inscription to so-and-so, Christmas morning, 1954. I love that. Captain Strangelove was talking about the same thing in a recent episode. Cheers to you, Captain Strangelove, for understanding that's not damage to a book. That adds character and history and heartwarmingness to the book. The baby bunny, with washable covers. Okay, this is my wonder book, Eric. Eric. Well, this is cool art. Well, we went from Vampirella to the baby bunny. That's all right. It's all part of the wonders of the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen. Only in the United States of America could books be made like this. Fun for you. That should be the name of my channel. This was $5. It's on sale for $3.50. I'm removing the Post-it note. I must have bought this not long before I moved. I guess. I don't even remember. This is more like a book that you would be given in school to read, to learn to read. It looks like. Fun for you, I guess. Look out for Zip. Look out for Zip. Look out, look out. Zip wants something. Look out for Zip. Oh, it's a little chimp. What did Zip want? Look on page 44. It helps you learn your numbers. Oh, page 44 is the next page. Oh, he wanted, what did he want? The kid's hat, I guess. No, the girl's hat. What story was the most fun for you? these books need to be put downstairs and with the other children's books. And I can't leave them out because these old books, Drew likes to, there's something about the glue. Drew likes to chew on the spines. So that will not be allowed. Where shall I put them? My father liked to use the word shall. Have you ever known anyone that used the word shall? Maybe it's going to Catholic school. You know, it's like, well, you do this, I shall. Okay. All right, you shall. 51. Here's 51. Did we already look at that? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. The world may never know. Did we look at 50? I have no recollection of that. Did we look at 49? Kind of remember. Okay. Let's keep going. 52 has a great cover. '53. What year are we up to now? Oh, my back. 54. September 1976. September 76. I was living. I was in 6th grade. October 76. It's bending over, man. Maybe I should have this box up higher. I got it. Okay. This is, what was the last one? 55. This is 56 from December of 76. It's Dr. Fauci. Man, Alex Jones is on. Why am I doing this show and not listening to Alex Jones? No, actually, it's not. He's not on yet. This is number 57 from January of 77. These shirts, they were selling these shirts. I remember seeing them in Montgomery Ward at the Forum 303 Mall in Arlington, Texas, and they were all made out of polyester. I never had any of these shirts, but Meyer Greenblatt, I think, said he had one or two, and they were very, like I imagined, very unpleasant to wear. 57. Oh, I'm missing 58. Maybe they got it at that store Charlton works at. At this point, the Rook was a character appearing in Eerie magazine, and that was really he had this time machine that looked like a Rook chess piece, right? And he could travel through time. And he was kind of, this guy looked a little bit like Han Solo, and he had a robot companion that wore a cowboy hat, and his ancestor, he went back to the Battle of the Alamo, and he picked him up and saved him right before he was scheduled to be killed by the other side. And so anyway, he was going to die anyway, so he just instead, they just figured he's dead because he wasn't there, and instead he lived on in other times with his descendant. So that was such a cool. And then he got his own comic magazine. I mean, I call these comics. I mean, they're in the comic book price guide, so they're comics. Some people say, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of collecting magazines, but to me, the magazines were the most fun for me when I was a little kid. There's 62. 63. There's that special I was showing you in the other room that they're advertising. 64. I don't think I have all my Vampirellas in this box. I think they spill over into another box. There's 65. They're still selling. And they apparently had a limited hardcover edition of that. 65. 66. '67, that's, I think her name is Barbara Lay. And I think she was supposed to be the girl that played Vampirella, or they were hoping they would make another deal to make a Vampirella movie. They started putting her on the cover of Vampirella there for a while. Ooh, this one's messed up. The spine's messed up. 68, so I could do an upgrade of this one. 68. 69. Or it was just a cheap way to not have to pay an artist to paint a cover. They could, you know,